Hello again and welcome to Campervan Muchings, and this is our second trip out and we're off today to the Malverns, Great Malvern, and we're going to stop off somewhere along the Worcestershire and Birmingham Canal for a little bit of a walk, and we'll see you on the journey, so see you there. Okay, so we've arrived at Stoke. Where is it? Stoke? No idea. Stoke somewhere or another. Stoke Wharf, that's right. We've arrived at Stoke Wharf near Bronsgrove. And we're just going to have a short snack here. Doggies were hungry and thirsty. And we just had a Jaffa cake bar and a mini roll, Matava sandwich. And then we're going to go up for a little walk up the canal, the Worcestershire and Birmingham Canal, and just stretch our legs before we have our last stretch of driving towards Malvern. Okay, so we'll catch you on the canal. And Birmingham Canal starts in Worcester as an offshoot of the River Severn and ends in Gas Street Basin in Birmingham. It's 29 miles long. There are 58 locks, including 30 at Tardebigge, which is the longest lock flight in England. Okay, we're on the Birmingham to Worcester Canal. This is Stoke Bottom Lock at Stoke Wharf. So we're going to have a stroll along here. About a mile further on here is the Tardebigge flight, which is one of the biggest flight of locks on any of the canals in the country, but I'm not sure we're going to get that far. Staffordshire and Worcester Canal then. I did walk this canal from Worcester to Birmingham 20 odd years ago, and I seem to remember it goes all the way through Cadbury's just outside Birmingham. That's a lovely walk. There's plenty of locks to keep you interested. This is the first one that we've come across. There we go. Very picturesque. Considering that we're not that far from the very rural areas of Bromsgrove, Birmingham's not that far away. Lovely. Didn't think we were going to make the Todd the Biggie flight, but here we are. Wasn't as far as we thought. And there you go, Todd the Biggie bottom lock. I'll check later exactly how many locks there are. I think there's something in the region of about 20 plus. And at the bottom, I can't see it there, but just round the corner there's a pub. And that's obviously the stopping point for people who have just finished the flight coming down or about to start the flight going up. Okay, so we've arrived at Blackmore Camping and Caravan Club site near Malvern, or Great Malvern, and it's a reasonably dry evening. We've put up the awning for the first time, including a screen at the side or at the front to try and give us a little bit of privacy for the two doggies. It wasn't the easiest thing to put up, but I'm sure the more often we do it, the more often it will go up. It's the first time since we've had the van that we've actually managed to sit out, and Jan just said it's bloody cold. So I suppose we're in the middle of April, and the question is the weather going to get better? We're told that Saturday and Sunday are supposed to be nice and sunny, so perhaps looking forward to sitting outside a little bit more. We're not true campers unless you sit outside for most of the time, are you? Anyway, time for a little bit of lunch, I think. Well, good morning. A nice sunny morning here at Clitheroe campsite in the Malverns. Right, spot a breakfast shortly, then we're going to head off to Croom Court, which is up near Upton upon Severn. It's a National Trust site, and being members of the National Trust, we try and give every use of our membership and pop across there and see what it's like. Later on, I think we'll probably go into Upton upon Severn. Never been there. Have a little wander around. You can wander down the river Severn at that particular point. So we'll drift down there, I think, and then we've got a plan tomorrow because we're only staying here 2 nights, and then we're going to have to decide what we're going to do, and we'll sit down with a map and have a little look and see where we're going to head. Catch you on the road. Okay, here we are at Broome Court, National Trust Centre, and we're actually at the main entrance here, and we're going to go have a wander around the grounds and see how enjoyable this National Trust property is. See you on the walk. Broome Court is an 18th century mansion surrounded by extensive landscape parkland. The mansion and park were designed by Lancelot Capability Brown, and it was his first landscape design. The park is now in the care of the National Trust.
In Perry, no gables and eaves, 4,000 square feet just to fill up with things I don't need. And I know to some it makes no sense, but I'm not living just to pay my debts. I've got nothing against that white picket fence or those big American trees. On we go down the endless road. How can we know what tomorrow holds? I know this life gets so heavy, so I'll carry it with you. And I know you'll carry me too. And we'll be home.
Well, hello again, and we're at Upton upon Severn, and the river's directly behind me, and the main bridge across the river into the village. And there's a nice little walk along here apparently, so we're going to take a stroll along the River Severn back through Upton and have a look at a little bit of the architecture of the village. Catch you on the journey. The walk here along the banks of the River Severn crosses the ancient flood meadows known as the Ham. The Ham is one of the oldest lammas meadows in the country. This is referred to as the lammas system because grazing animals would not be allowed on the meadows until the lammas day, 1st of August.
Half more, just half more, that's all. So I think you've had quite a bit today, haven't you? Eh? Just half more, last bit.
Okay, it's time for a little stop. Doggies are feeling hungry. It's been a bit too sunny today. The dogs are struggling a little bit. They're not used to that yellow thing that's above the sky. So we're going to cut this walk short a little bit, and we're going to drift back the same route we've just come, back into the town, and we're going to have a little wander around the town stroke village. No, it's probably a town actually. There is a church there that looks just like St Paul's, so we're going to go and have a nip across there and have a look and see what it looks like. So we'll catch you a little bit later. Well, good morning, and yesterday was beautiful. It was really warm and sunny until tea time, and then it clouded in and it even rained, and we've woken up to a dull and miserable day again. I wonder if it'll ever get warm in this country. There you are, I suppose that's another story. And we're off this morning, and our next stop is of course to the Cotswolds, a place called Winchcombe, and we're staying at Hale's Fruit Farm, so it could be interesting. And we'll probably travel down or up or across to the Cotswolds via anything that looks like interesting, and just stop off. But it depends a lot on the weather. So we're just packing up, getting ready to go, and then we'll see you on the journey. We've arrived at Winchcombe. Took us about 45 minutes, and we're at the edge of the Cotswolds. Just parked up at Winchcombe Park, and we're going to stroll up to Winchcombe Station, which is part of the steam train route from. I don't know. I'll put up here in a minute exactly where it is, where it goes from, where it goes to. So we'll see you at the station. Right, here we are at Winchcombe Station. It's not open. Well, the station's open, although we're told not to wander too far because we might get locked in. But there are no trains running today, We've chose one of the only 2 days that it's closed on a Monday and a Friday. That's okay.
You don't want me on it. Sorry, but you picked the wrong day.
I know, just say it's closed Monday and Friday, isn't it?
That's right,
Yeah, typical. I think every time we go somewhere, it's always choose the wrong day. Although we're just talking to a gentleman there, and he says that the next station up, Toddington's open. But I don't think we'll bother. I think we'll just stroll around here and have a little look at this nice station. There's some fabulous architecture. I was told that the railway line runs from Broadway down to near Cheltenham. It's a distance of about 14 miles. We've moved on to Hales Abbey. It stopped raining, so we'll take a little stroll around and you can follow us on our little journey. Hales Abbey is a former Cistercian abbey in the small village of Hales. It was founded in 1246 and dissolved by Henry VIII in 1539. It is now owned by the National Trust but managed by English Heritage. Well, good morning, and here we are at Hales Fruit Farm campsite near Winchcombe in Gloucestershire, and it was a bit of a cold night. In fact, there was a frost last night, so but it's a beautiful morning. I think the sun is really shining for once. So what's on the menu today? Well, we are going to head off to Broadway. Told it's a beautiful village and lots of Victorian style housing, etc., etc. So we're going to have a stroll down there, and then we're going to head off to Stow-on-the-Wold and again have a wander around the village stroke town. And after that, I think we'll have a spot of lunch, and then we'll just play it by ear after that and see what happens, see where we go. I think most of our holidays are going to be let's see what happens type of thing. Don't know what we're going to come across as we drive along. That's the beauty of our new camper van, is that because it's a lot smaller than our motorhome that we used to have, it's much easier to park, and therefore we can suddenly, as we drive around, we can spot places to go, places to see, viewpoints, old churches, historic buildings, anything like that that we really struggled with the motor caravan. Beautiful as it was, that we had a pilote, but it was 7.5 meters long. It was lovely to drive, but trying to park the thing, it's easy to park, but just finding a place to park is the problem. Whereas the camper van is so much easier to find somewhere to park. It just opens up much more places to go and visit, and that's really the idea of what we're going to want to do now. We want to go out and just visit places, ad hoc, as they say. Right, so anyhow, we're going to be on the road shortly, so we'll see you probably at Broadway. Okay, so we have now arrived at I forgot the name. And this is the edge of the Cotswolds, as you see from this sign, area of outstanding natural beauty. Right, join us on the tour. Okay, so we've moved away from Broadway. We were going to head across to Stow-on-the-Wold, but we've come across the Broadway Tower. I thought it was a 7.5 mile hike, which didn't fancy doing it today. But apparently you can cheat by driving up there along a few minor roads. So we're now at the Broadway Tower, and as you can see from the view here, it's staggering view across the Vale. As we approach Broadway Tower along the footpath, it does cost to go in. And being a mean so-and-so, I don't think we'll bother. Anyway, we might struggle a bit with the dogs. But you get a pretty good view from here. You can see why they built it. Must be the highest point on the Cotswolds around here. Yeah, nuclear bunker open today. The footpath you can see in front of you with the people walking, I believe is the footpath down to Broadway village itself. And it did say it was a 7.5 kilometre walk, and quite a big climb as well for the brave, faint-hearted and the fit. I could have done it 20 years ago. I'm not sure I could manage it now. Well, good morning. This is our last day, and it's a beautiful morning. So we're going to move away from the campsite, Hale's Fruit Farm, and head home. But we're not going directly home. We're going to go via Deddington Castle, a National Trust. No, it's not National Trust, English Heritage Site. So we're going to go there and see what there is left. And then we're going to head off to Crop Reedy and walk a little bit the Oxford Canal. So we'll catch you on the road then. The Oxford Canal at Cropreedy. Of course, Cropreedy is famous for its festival held every year in August, and the story reminds me of the fact that it was Fairport Convention in the probably 60s, maybe it's the 70s. Had a sort of small little mini festival at the back of a pub. They just grew and grew and grew. And this year, festival is no different. It goes on for 3 days. Been headlined by the Fairport Convention himself, of course. And Rick Wakeman is headlining one of the nights. You got Focus, Big Train, which is a prog rock band, and many others. I love these houses that you find at the side of canals. And unlike rivers, canals rarely flood unless a river is part of the canal. So these houses here wouldn't be expected to be flooded by this canal, and they're lovely. Got to say, I'd love to have a home like this. Especially a nice garden that Jan would be able to work on. Some people take real pride in their landscaping down to the canal. I mean, look at this one here. He's even got his own patio at the edge of the canal. Just sit there and watch time go by. Very nice. we're back to the van after that nice little walk, and that's the end of our tour. And more moochings will happen in shortly, and I hope you will join us on our next adventure. So we'll see you soon.